Top of morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuko was the powerfulest character in My Hero Academia. I am talking about, or in anime. So, I am talking about like One Punch Man kind, or him. So, yeah. He basically he had the I am thrown in his sister, and before I like do the what if, I am making two today, cause one to make up for those 4 days. Okay, this is one actual. So, yeah, and yeah, his sister cares about him and trusts him, but he has anger issues. This is just details. So, yeah, he basically becomes powerful. Sorry. He becomes powerful. Like, if he was in rage, he would be like Brody. So, now let's begin. Instead of my usual intro of, instead of usual, like, when Zuko was born thing, yeah, let's do that. So, when Zuko was born, Ern and Zumi, or before he was born, a greatest entity known as Chaos of Infinity gave Zuko the powers. That works. So he was born with those powers. And he also so he can never die, he can never be dehydrated or never go hungry. So, yeah. So now age of 4, I'm doing a time skip real quick. So when they were at age of 4, they went to the doctors. I don't see it. Alright. Oh, yes it did. Okay. They went to the doctors and he looks at Zumi first. And yeah. He saw Zumi. He told her that she has fire manipulation, and So, yeah. Zuko, uh, when they looked at him, he says, well, you have immortality quirk. Basically, like, you can never go hungry or thirsty or anything. Can never die, and if you do die, you can come back to life. But you still have your memories. So, yeah. He basically when he can remember everyone's name before meeting them. So, yeah. So, and then after they leave the doctor's office, and Zuko or Zumi was not feeling the best, like sickness thing, Zuko went to school, and yeah. But when he came back, there was smoke and fire at their. But before we move on, yes, the villains has attacked Midoriya's house. And instead of killing them, they had a plan to, like capture them and clone them. So, like clone them to put into there, so that makes Zuko who feel angry. That's what they will say. Sorry. So, yeah, Zuko ran home, and then they see the bloody Inko, a bloody Hisashi, like, and Zumi. And the entire place burnt down. And only one that survived was him. So, yeah. He is trying to be calm. And he had the sad moments. And, yeah. But other than that, he still tries to hold it down. So he goes to UA at age of 15. It's a time skip. So basically he lives on the road for not that long. So he do a time skip, and so he goes to UA. He tries to push down those thoughts. And then when he was just like, or he actually went to a gym before. So he got more muscular, more buffed up, and had more power. Like, he's trying not to be like so angry. So, yeah. And no one even knows because he always knows that Zuko, or he just was standing there here, like, and then when he thinks in his head what his dying mom's words were, it was the villains that did this. Every time from now on, every time he hears a word villain or evil, he will crush it. So when he saw, like, he knocks out 3-pointers, 2-pointers, and that's it. But when he was like walking in, as he sees the big robot, like the 0-pointer, and he's trying not to be angry, so he decides, or he sees Ochako, and yeah, when he saw Ochako, he gets reminded of how his own sister looked before. So, yeah. So, he doesn't talk much. He basically is, when he said as to him, or he says in his own head of, rescue her from that. As he did, and of course something went wrong, and the 0-pointer went haywired and like was gonna kill the students, as he hears screaming as he sets Ochako down, and when he turns around, he knows, as he went full on so Goku, like basically like him went full berserk ultimate mode, like basically, yeah, he basically ripped the 0-pointer into out of existence. At first everyone's like, holy crud. And then after he was done, he walked away. It was so clean that there was no blood stains on him or oil stains. And that's what I forgot to mention. There will be blood. And plus it would be a little bit darker from this point on. So, just to warn you. And Toga is in this what if she is, instead of being a villain, she's being a hero. Because in this alternate timeline thing, her fit doesn't like bother her. Or so she's more like calm than anyone. So yeah, so she ends up, when she saw his power, like he walked away. He was trying to keep himself calm. So yeah, next day he got class 1A. And so he says, or they don't know him. So yeah. So one of them came up and asked, "Who is he?" Or "Who are you?" "Who are you?" That's what they're asking him. As he says, "I'm just a kid that wants to go to school to become a hero. So if you three don't mind, just go sit down." As they could feel his aura of rage. Even like Mr. Aizawa, that was trying to sleep in his sleeping bag, could even feel it. So yeah, he knows what he's doing. As yeah, his aura couldn't be contained. So he sat down in like his usual spot. Sorry. And everyone had a shimmy shakes, like basically like they're kind of like sweating bullets around Zuko, because they don't know what his powers are. Ours are. As yeah, so Mr. Aizawa says, "Huh," as he gets out of his sleeping bag and he looks at Zuko and says, "Good job, kid. You really got them sitting down." Huh. So what are we doing today? Well, it's a quirk assessment test. It's your first day, so that first one you get into UA. But this one is a real one. Well, just to see what progress you are. As Momo, everyone in the class except for Zuko was like, "Oh no, I hope that I don't." As they looked at Zuko, and they say in their heads of he's gonna probably be the only one that's not disqualified. Because so yeah. So Zuko got he's holding the world record. No one knows that. So yeah. And Nezu, like when he was watching that video thing of Zuko's powerful, well, that is quite odd, save the least. Minette was sorry. Minette was with her or with him. Sorry. Sorry. So yeah, Midnight says, "What's weird about having a kid that's basically did that to the robot?" Well, I think if he did it to a villain, that villain would be out of existence. Yeah. So now I'm at the ball throw. He got infinity. When he threw it hard enough, like he threw the ball so hard that it probably landed in our world. Like, yeah. He threw the ball so hard that even as they don't want to upset the big guy. And every time Mr. Aizawa or someone says, or let's say it would be like Bakugo, told him that was weak. As when he says, no, it's not. As when Bakugo starts arguing with him, Mr. Aizawa had to literally stand between in Zuko and Bakugo, because they could sense and they could even literally sense Zuko's rage building up to maximal pressure if so. And he is also, when he's in his berserk form or his when he gets mad, he's like indestructible. Oh, and this was the one that gave him his powers, or gave Zuko his powers. Or when he, yeah. So he basically, they had to literally put a shock collar on him. or not shot caller. Or then Heroes vs. Villains. His costume was a fusion of that costume that you see, the top piece, with his outfit. Like basically both of the Broly's fused together to create the ultimate one. So yeah, he basically did that. He basically, that's his costume without a shot collar thing around him. So yeah, imagine all that gold and put onto him. Yeah. As they win that, it kind of looks like this. This. So yeah, he basically came out looking like that with looks like Vegeta's is like, or looks like that one. So yeah, Zuko came out looking like that and with that. So yeah, he basically, every time he tries to sleep, he dreams about his own sister taking care of him every single minute or every single day. He remembers his own mother was always been there for him. Um, he always, he tries to help his father do a lot of things, but he is, every time he wakes up, he doesn't wake up like the normal way, like, good morning. He wakes up like fighting mad. Like, sometimes he gets angry when, so yeah, now here's his villains. He covers his own ears before he says that, so that he doesn't activate his own rage accidental. So, or thank goodness he had headphones and listening to some music. As All Might walks up to Zuko and says, "How about you take those headphones off?" Because as he says, "Sure." As he takes them off, and when All Might says, "I'll repeat myself. Welcome to this is combat." So, yeah, but we like to call it heroes versus, as Zuko says in his head, "Please don't say it. Please don't say it." Or actually, he stops All Might by covering his mouth as he says, "Don't say it." as everyone that saw him grab All Might's like mouth thing and him saying, "Don't say it unless you really want to be in an early grave." As the entire class had to hold him back. And as he puts on his headphones. As All Might couldn't believe that some random kid just like grabbed him by the face thing and told him not to say the V word. I'll just say it because I'm not in the story. So, villain. Don't say the villain. So, yeah. As before he even puts on his headphones, Bakugo looked at him and says, "What's wrong with villain?" As when Zuko heard that, he went into berserk mode. Like, they had to calm him down. Like, he literally grabbed the Bakugo's throat and like slams him around like a little rag doll. Punching him, kicking him, like literally every combo breaker in the entire world can never. Like, he basically broke every bone in Bakugo's body. As All Might couldn't believe that if he said that, then he would have been in the same situation. But, and Ochako, Momo, all the students, and they had to restrain him down. Like, Ochako flew into right in front of his face and told him that he needs to calm down. I don't know what you and like what's your obsession with, or like when you get mad at when someone says that word. Earn. As Toga. Yeah. So let's say Toga just decides to ask Zuko, who? Let's say Toga asks Zuko what's the problem with that word, that as he says it's the as All Might went up and he says or actually, Zuko calmed down a lot. Like, he was trying to, like, as he walks over and, like, he had his own arms crossed. And, like, he says, if you really want to know what happened, and that with that word, earn, it brought up bad memories. Every time there was a word, or that word, I usually go berserk. As Momo, everyone now cares about him. Like they said, go on, tell us about your backstory. It was pretty dark. So, backstory. So he tells them that the villains came in, or those bad men, or bad guys, came in, and they basically killed my mother, father, and my own sister. Every time I looked at you, Ochako, you remind me of her. As Ochako didn't realize that of course she says, okay, what will happen? They burnt down my favorite home. In this timeline, their house, or they were like, they own a house. So yeah, own a property and like all that stuff. So he tells them that he gets angry when someone they took them away from me. So he walks away. As All Might walks up to him, puts his hand on him, and he says, now I understand why you didn't want me to say that word. I'm so sorry, Zuko. Okay? And yeah. As Bakugo didn't even realize that. So he says, or Zuko says this, the actual reason why I wanted to become a hero. So that I get vengeance on them. So, yeah. And everyone else accepts him as who he is. Like, he literally accepts him, or Zuko. So, yeah. because of that story, or that backstory, should I say. As let's do a time skip to USJ. They got on the bus and they got onto or they get dropped off. Meets 13, and they really did had a headphone for him so that he can listen to soothing music instead of having to be like all angry and stuff. Because let's say Frog Girl and Mina, they told Zuko, or they told themselves that I really like him when he's in his calm form. So, yeah. When they got to there, they get ambushed. And Shiraki-sen says, I'm Shiraki-sen. And in this timeline, he's, instead of sending, or like they had two, like one of these to deal with All Might, and the other looks just like that one, but green. And no, he have them as hostage, not like what turned them into a Nomu kind. So, but they use a copy their horn, so plus throw in rage. As Shiraki-sen says, let me introduce myself. I am the Shiraki-sen, the leader of the League of Villains. As when Zuko heard that, man, oh man, his eyes went from green, like his usual color, green, to fiery red. Like he looked like, or his eye, or Zuko's eyes turned to that color of his eyes. So yeah, he basically went supernova. Like he literally went full on berserk. So he basically ran all the way, and like he did rip off both Nomu's heads and threw them with their own spines were still attached. Or like just their head part. As he goes up and punches Shiraki-sen with such force. It's just like that One Piece where instead of like physical combat, he does it like super close, and Shiraki-sen got torn in half by that one punch. Yeah. Or wiped him out of existence, kind. And he wasn't just messing around. He told 13 and Mr. Aizawa to get out of here quick. And they, because Mr. Aizawa can trust Zuko. Okay, be safe, Zuko. And he basically, yeah. Zuko, who they all like ran out, and Zuko went full on berserk mode. He wasn't holding back. He literally sliced and diced everyone. All those villains, like, they weren't just low tier villains. They were like super high villains. And yeah, Zuko just slaughtered them all. Like 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3. And yeah, it was so gross. I'm not even going into details of how it was like someone just told Toga to go like on a stabbing spree, or told him to. So yeah. So only person that was alive was the wart guy, Kirigiri. He experienced how powerful Zuko really gets when he like, his rage could be felt around the entire world. Nezu could tell, like, well, All Might, you need to go down there quick. I think our little friend and needs to chill out. As All Might knows which friend he's talking about. Zuko Midoriya, the most powerful, dangerous, is one of everyone that they encountered. As after he was done, he was breathing so heavily that even he could breathe out fire from his own mouth. He walked all the way to when he walked out. He looked like he painted himself red. And when he opens the door, he comes out and everyone is shocked of how much blood he has on him. Like, he had, like, imagine Mina's skin turns all red. Like, just imagine her skin one day went all red. Or like Ochako's. So yeah. She couldn't believe, or they couldn't believe, that someone with that much power at his disposal just did that. He absolutely annihilated everyone. Like, he was calming down when he saw his classmates. As he tries not to look back. But he does do that. He looks at, or he says, serves them right to mess around with me. As, yeah. Momo, Jiro, everybody was like still like, yeah. So Mr. Aizawa says, "Are you doing okay?" Mm-hmm. Yeah. And gosh dang it, I forgot to tell you what my quirk was. Okay, what is it? It's immortal quirk. Or immortality quirk, basically. I can never eat, or I can never drink or go thirsty, never go hungry, and like I can basically I'm mortal, but times 1 million. And if I wanted to die, or if I did die, then I can come right back. But I still have my memories. As, yeah. When he. So basically, you have a quirk that's. You're only one that can wield powerful. So, yeah. And let's do it. I'm skipping the sports festival and Camp Park, and now it's All Might versus All for One. Because in my usual plan was when during the internship thing, Zuko had no internship thing. So so he goes on by himself doing like hero work, like patrol at night. So yeah, he basically, when he saw a bunch of villains, he kill them, or like kills all thousands of those. Yeah. And then when he met Hero Killer Stain, he saw Tenya's body, and yeah, Zuko wasn't, and native, sorry. So Zuko wasn't like himself. He was going into this like madness of endless rage that he's trying to bottle down. And only person that really gets interested in Zuko is Nindever. Nindever asked Todoroki. Oh, sorry. Eh? Who is he? As Todoroki says to him, that is Zuko Midoriya, the Infinity Lord, as his pro hero name. As he saw how much destruction the Atnomu or that Zuko caused, as he could sense rage from Zuko, as Todoroki, when Zuko comes out, like he literally dropped out Tenya and Native, and he literally like he grabs like Hero Killer Stain, brings him to, and as the news reporter says, the Infinity Lord, Zuko, or Infinity Lord, just brought in the number, or eventually, Hero Killer Stain. So yeah, now I'm just adding that part in. So now the Zuko was, so now it's All Might versus All For One. All Might was down but not out. So when he got up, he had injured on his arm. Zuko was in the neighborhood thing, as he, or actually All For One was going to use his laser that could instant kill anyone. And like Zuko flew all the way, and like he literally was like that as the beam hits him. Nothing happens. He walks up to him, and it's just like that. Oh crap! Sorry. It's just like that Hero Killer, or no, it's like that Seven Deadly Sins, where Bon Hun walks up to a villain and like use his fist, and he basically did like that. As wait for part 2, please.